The ISV Resolute operated as part of the Interspecies Defense Coalition, humanity's first major collaborative military effort with alien species. The crew was deliberately mixed, learning to function as unified force despite profound cultural differences. Among the alien contingents were the Valkari, warriors whose culture revolved around martial prowess and complex social rituals. They were imposing, 7 feet tall with natural armor like exoskeletons, 4 arms, eyes tracking multiple targets simultaneously. Their matriarchal society valued combat excellence above all. Corporal Marcus Wright was a human combat engineer, 26, transferred 3 months ago. He'd been making genuine efforts to understand his alien crewmates, studying basic Valkari language, learning customs, trying to be respectful. He developed friendly professional relationships with several warriors, including War Master Kurashin. Kurashin was everything Valkari culture admired. Brilliant tactician, undefeated in duels, carrying scars from a dozen campaigns. She was also striking in ways transcending species, lethal grace, impressive tactical mind, dry wit occasionally breaking through warrior composure. The incident happened during a joint training exercise. After successful coordinated tactics, there was informal debriefing. Kurashin delivered observations about human adaptability with grudging respect. Marcus, honored by recognition from someone he respected, responded with what he intended as mutual respect. In human military culture, particularly among combat engineers, there was a hand signal, thumb and forefinger forming circle, other fingers extended, meaning solid work. Marcus made this gesture toward Kurashin while saying in broken Valkari, "Honor to train with warriors of your skill." The room went absolutely silent. Every Valkari froze, body language shifting to something important and intense. Kurashin's eyes locked onto Marcus with an expression he'd never seen. Then Kurashin dropped to one knee, a posture indicating formal acceptance, and spoke in careful Terran standard. "I accept your proposal, Marcus Wright of Earth. By ancient laws of my people, I claim you as battlemate. Your courage in offering this bond honors both our peoples." Marcus's brain short-circuited. Proposal, battlemate. He just made a hand gesture about the training being good and somehow he'd proposed marriage. I didn't. That wasn't. He stammered, looking desperately to his fellow humans for support. Another Valkari warrior, Tharik, stepped forward with sympathy. "Marcus Wright, you have performed the gesture of claiming, formal proposal among my people. War Master Kurashin has accepted according to law. You are now bonded unless one party formally revokes, which brings great dishonor." Marcus tried to explain, "But I was just saying the training went well. In human culture, this gesture means good work. I didn't know it meant. I wasn't proposing anything." Kurashin rose, and there was something that might be amusement beneath her warrior composure. "Ignorance of custom does not negate the gesture's meaning, human. You made the claim. I accepted. We are bonded by law of my people, unless you wish to revoke and declare yourself oath-breaker before both our species." Marcus was trapped. Revoking would be massive insult, potentially damage fragile Human-Valkari cooperation, mark him as dishonorable. Emergency meetings convened. Consensus was awkward but clear. The proposal was accidental but valid by Valkari law, Kurashin's acceptance binding by her culture. The recommended solution: maintain the formal bond but treat it as ceremonial, a cultural misunderstanding resolved through diplomacy. Marcus reluctantly agreed. Kurashin agreed too, but with a gleam in her eyes Marcus found unsettling. What Marcus didn't understand was that Valkari bonding came with cultural expectations and privileges, and Kurashin, who developed her own interest in this respectful human, had decided the accidental proposal was an opportunity she'd fully exploit. It started the next day. Marcus was in engineering when Kurashin arrived to check on her battlemate's well-being. She positioned herself closer than Valkari normally stand, invading personal space. You work with your hands, she observed. This is good. Valkari honor those who build as well as destroy. Among my people, battle mates often train together. We should spar. I would enjoy teaching you Valkari combat techniques. Intimately. The way she said intimately made clear she was deliberately messing with him. War Master, I don't think sparring would end well for me. You outweigh me by 100 pounds and have twice as many arms. This is true. But as your battlemate, I would be gentle, mostly. She was teasing him. The terrifying Valkari War Master was actively, deliberately teasing him. Over following days, it continued. Kurashin appeared wherever Marcus worked, making comments between professional and flirtatious. She brought him food from Valkari commissary. Battlemates share sustenance, explaining which items were traditionally aphrodisiacs. She asked about human customs, using it as excuse to stand very close and ask pointed questions about courtship rituals. The human crew found it hilarious. But they also noticed Marcus wasn't actually upset about the attention. Embarrassed, yes. Flustered, absolutely, but not genuinely distressed. One friend, Sergeant Park, confronted him. You know she's actually flirting with you, right? She's interested. Marcus tried to deny it. She's just messing with me. There's no way she's actually interested. Marcus, she brings you food. She finds excuses to be near you. She lights up when you enter a room. The question is, are you interested? Marcus didn't answer immediately because he was forced to confront something he'd been avoiding. Yes, he was interested. Kurashin was brilliant, powerful, had wicked humor, and treated him with appealing respect and playfulness. Meanwhile, Kurashin was having her own conversations with Tharik. The human Marcus continues to resist the bond. I make my interest clear by all Valkari standards, yet he treats it as jest. Tharik offered insight. Humans process romantic interest differently. What we consider clear declaration, they might interpret as teasing. Perhaps you should speak plainly about what you want. The breakthrough came during crisis. The Resolute encountered hostile forces, and Marcus's engineering expertise and Kurashin's tactical brilliance became crucial. They worked in perfect synchronization. In the aftermath, Marcus found Kurashin injured and vulnerable in ways War Masters don't usually appear. Are you all right? He asked, genuine concern overriding nervousness. Kurashin looked up with softened expression. I am well enough. The battle was difficult. We lost warriors. Marcus sat beside her, offering comfort through presence. When the ship was damaged, Kurashin said quietly, my first thought was for your safety, not for tactics or strategy. For you specifically. This is not typical War Master behavior. I have been teasing you, but not only in jest. The accidental bonding was a gift, an excuse to approach you when custom would otherwise prevent a War Master from showing interest in one of lower rank. I ask you plainly in human style, is your discomfort about me specifically or about circumstances? Marcus took a moment to organize his thoughts. The circumstances were terrifying, but you, Kurashin, you're amazing. Brilliant and terrifying and funny. I've been trying not to act on it because I was afraid of another cultural misunderstanding. And now I think we should talk about what this bond actually means to both of us. Not what military command thinks it should mean, what we want it to mean. What followed was their first genuinely honest conversation. They discovered they wanted compatible things. To explore the connection they felt, to see if attraction could become something deeper, to do so at comfortable pace. Months later, during a formal ceremony, Kurashin called Marcus to the stage. This human accidentally proposed marriage through ignorance of customs. It was comedic, embarrassing, but it became the beginning of a bond that has made me stronger. He has taught me that courage exists in many forms, not just in battle, but in willingness to risk emotional vulnerability. She turned to Marcus. So I wish to make a deliberate proposal with full understanding. Marcus, Wright of Earth, will you accept permanent bonding with me, not by accident but by choice? Marcus made the gesture of claiming, this time with full understanding. I accept Koreshin. I claim you as my battlemate by choice, with honor, and with absolutely no regrets about accidentally proposing that first time because it led me to you. The assembly erupted, both species celebrating a union that started as comedy but became profound. In their shared quarters later, Koreshin teaching Marcus combat forms, she asked, "Do you ever regret that your first proposal was accidental?" Marcus grinned. "Are you kidding? I have the best how we met story in human military history. I accidentally proposed marriage through the wrong hand gesture. It's comedy gold. And the fact that I then flirted with you relentlessly until you admitted your feelings. That part was terrifying and arousing in equal measure. You're really intimidating when you want to be. I know. It is among my finest qualities. That and my ability to make you blush just by standing too close." She pulled him closer with two of her forearms. "But truly, Marcus Wright, I am grateful for your accidental proposal. It gave me excuse to pursue what I wanted, but was too bound by protocol to claim otherwise. And I'm grateful you accepted, even though I had no idea what I was doing, and for the relentless flirtation that followed." They continued their sparring, their casual intimacy that bridged species and started with the most awkward beginning. And sometimes Marcus made that hand gesture, and Koreshin responded with formal acceptance, and they both laughed at the absurdity and perfection of how they found each other. Because sometimes the best relationships start with catastrophic misunderstanding, proceed through embarrassing flirtation, and become something neither expected but both choose with full understanding and genuine joy.